so today's date is 1/6/21, and we're going to be multiplying negative, that's a G, it's a weird looking G, multiplying negative fractions. So it's very similar to what we did, it's very similar to what we did on Monday, except today we are going to be dealing with some negative numbers, some negative fractions. Okay, so let's just review the rules for multiplying negative anything. Negative fractions, negative decimals, negative numbers, anything. Okay, so if I have a negative times a negative, what does that equal, guys? Help me out. What is a negative times a negative equal to?
Positive?
Yep, very good. A positive. So you have the N stands for negative, the P stands for positive. So a negative times a negative is equal to a positive. What if the first fraction's a negative and the second fraction's a positive? What is that going to equal?
Negative?
Negative, thank you. What if I reverse it? What if I put the positive first and the negative fraction second? What kind of answer do you get there?
A positive.
A positive. No, a negative. So it doesn't matter
Oh.
the answer. It does not matter the answer. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
For some reason I thought it was a positive because of the other work that we did. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's very different with the adding. That's one part about math that makes it a little bit difficult. It's like we have rules for everything and everything has a different rule. And you're thinking, "But wait, it's just adding and multiplying, like they're not very different." But they are very different and they have very different rules. So, one of the hardest parts about math is just knowing that, understanding that each operation, multiplying, adding, subtracting, dividing, has its own rules. And just slowing it down for you, just slow it down and go like, okay, I'm multiplying. What are my rules? Okay, cool. Okay, now I'm adding. What are my rules for adding? What are my rules for subtracting? You just go slow. Okay, what if I give you a positive times a positive?
Equals positive.
Equals a positive. Good. Very good. I see some of your messages on the private chat. So sometimes your most up to date grade is on Canvas. That's the 100% real grade. Aries, I have to update it manually so it doesn't update on its own. And I'll try to update it every day. You just don't know when. When you do the do now, it changes your grade on Canvas like that. On Aries, it won't change it until I go in and change it. And that doesn't happen right away. So if you want to know 100% your grade, it is on Canvas. On Aries, give it like a couple hours to update, okay? So I know right now it looks like a huge difference in your grades because we're starting from zero or 100%, however you want to think about it. So anything you do has a great impact on your grade. Your grade on Aries is your grade for Monday. Your grade on Canvas is Monday and today. All right. So let's do a problem. So -2/5 times 3/8. Now, before we start looking at the fractions and doing the math with the numbers, let's just look at the type of fractions that we have. The first fraction, is this a negative or a positive? The first fraction.
Negative.
It's a negative, thank you. What about my second fraction?
No, it's positive. It's
Positive. So when there's nothing there, it's a positive. You'll only see one negative symbol. It's usually on the top or on the same line as the fraction line. Okay, so what's a negative times a positive going to equal to?
negative.
Negative. So you know before we start doing the math, you know that your answer is going to be negative. No matter what the numbers are, your answer is going to be a negative, okay? All right, now, I showed you a shortcut on Monday. Now I got some feedback from my second period. Some of them are doing the shortcut the wrong way. You have to look at the opposite corners. Don't look at the numbers like this and like this. You look at the numbers in the corners. So you 3 and 5. Is there anything I can simplify 3 and 5 by?
No.
Nope. So you take the other corners. 2 and 8. Is there something I can simplify 2 and 8? Yes. What can I divide 2 and 8 by?
2.
2. Very good. So
And the top is negative 1.
Wait.
Negative 2.
Divide this by 2. So everybody make sure you write down divide by 2, divide by 2. All right, Dominic, I'm glad you were able to do that. All right.
And then
so the top one, now what number is on top that I can circle?
negative 1.
Okay. And here, the 8 turns into a?
4.
Good. I like to circle them because there's like a lot of stuff happening, and the circle allows me to be like, oh yeah, okay, that's the new number I'm going to use. I no longer use the old numbers. The 3 is still there. Ain't nothing changing about the 3. All right, so what's our numerator in our answer? What's our top number?
Negative 3.
Negative 3.
And what's our denominator?
20.
20.
Good. That's our answer.
And
now,
you can't simplify it.
We already simplified it.
Yes.
That's the goal of, that's the reason we try to do it beforehand. Now, if you did not simplify and you got negative 6 over 40, if you divide by 2, you end up with the same answer. You just end up with a lot bigger numbers. So it's up to you when you want to simplify. Do you just want to multiply straight across and simplify at the end? Or do you want to see if you can simplify the corners? Okay?
Miss Lamelli,
Yes.
your screen is going like really slow. Like when you're pointing to different things, it's kind of getting a little glitchy.
Oh no. Is my